So we want to find the equation of the tangent line at the x equals 36 over 25 point of the graph of f of x equals square root of x versus x. Here's a depiction of the graph of f of x equals square root of x versus x. And here's the point on the x-axis where x equals 36 over 25. Now, to get the equation, find the point and the slope. If we know the point and the slope, it's pretty easy to write down the equation. Okay, so let's see. What's the point? Okay, well, we know the x-coordinate of the point. In order to know the point, we've got to know both the x and the y-coordinate. So what's the y-coordinate? Well, if x is 36 over 25, and you probably already know this, but we'll write it out, then y equals f of x, and x is 36 over 25, so that's f of 36 over 25. And f of 36 over 25, since f of x equals square root of x, f of 36 over 25 is the square root of 36 over 25. And that equals 6/5. Okay? So now we know that this point has coordinates 6/5 here, and we could write the coordinates of the point. The point has coordinates 36 over 25, 6/5. Now we want the equation of the tangent line. So let me draw the tangent line. Tangent line is just a line that kisses this graph at this point, so I didn't do a very good job of that. But here's, this line depicts the tangent line. Okay, and let me kind of continue the graph a little bit here to show sort of the way it is. I made the chalk dip there and ran into a bad place in the chalk, or my hand just wobbled. Okay, so there's a tangent line. Now, we've got the point. Now we can get a straight line. The tangent line is a straight line. All we're doing is finding a straight line with some slope. How do we get the slope? The slope is f prime of x, which is the derivative function, and x equals 36/5 at that 36/25 at that point. So the slope is f prime of 36 over 25. Now what's f prime? Well, if f of x equals square root of x, f prime of x equals 1 over 2 times the square root of x. Okay, and we're assuming we're in a position to know that. If you're watching these videos in sequence that they were made, we've already worked this out using the difference quotient. We've seen how it applies to a graph just recently in the last couple of videos, and now we can just apply this formula to find the slope. Okay? Now if you don't know that, just understand that if you watch these in a different order or learn your calculus in a slightly different order, you're going to find this. Okay? It might be given to you preferably you derive it, because you can do that using just a simple algebra trick that probably wouldn't occur to most people until they've seen it, but you know, we show that, we do that. Okay, so what do we have? Okay, well that's going to be 1 over 2 times the square root of 36/25. And that's going to be 1 over 2 times 6/5. And that's going to then equal what? It's going to equal, and I assume you can do fractions, it's going to equal 5/12. Okay? So now we know the slope is 5/12. And what's that mean? That means for every run of 12 we have a rise of 5. So the rise is a little less than half of the run, so the slope's about like that. This probably isn't too bad of a depiction of that slope. Okay? Now of course this graph is just regarded as a schematic, but you know, it's a schematic that has some of the characteristics of the graph to a reasonable extent. Okay, so here's our slope, here's our point. So what's our tangent line? Our tangent line is the line get ahead of myself. I started to write the 6/5 before 36/25. So it's a line through the point 36/25, 6/5 with a slope of 5/12. Okay. Well, can we find that line? Now there's a formula you should understand rather than having memorized it. It can be expressed in different ways. I'm going to say the formula is slope equals y equals y minus y1 over x minus x1, so that simple algebraic rearrangement here, and if you want to use m for slope, then you've got y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Now, this is the rise between some point y1, x1, y1, and the point xy. This is the rise, this is the run. So that the slope is this, and the slope has to be whatever the slope is. In this case, and if that confuses you, okay, use the formula. But you should really understand it at a little deeper level. You would profit from understanding it at a deeper level. We could write this then, y minus the coordinates of our point. Well, the y coordinate is 6/5 equals slope, which is 5/12, times x minus x1, which is 36/25. There's the equation of our tangent line. Now we can simplify that equation, but that's it. And we'll continue to simplify that and use it a little bit in the next clip.